Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we are going to revise our grammar from Unit 7 to Unit 10. And here we have a PowerPoint. Okay, let's start grammar review. And I start with some questions and revise the rule. While I watched the movie, the bell rang. Correct the verb. So here we are going to revise the word or the rule while. While is always followed by past continuous, means was or were plus the verb plus ing. Was with the singular and were with the plural. So while I is singular, so we are going to use was plus the verb watch plus ing. So while I was watching the movie, the bell rang. And the second part of the sentence is what rang. Rang. It is in the past because that while is connecting between two actions. One of them was going on, and came another action, cut it or stop it. So while I was watching, the bell rang. So I stopped, of course, watching and answered the bell, or say who is on the door, come in, whatever. So was watching, long action, then came another one which is rang, cut it. Negative. Gladiators fought wild animals in the zoo. This is negative. Negative. So when I see the word negative, so I mean negate the verb. So I'm going to the verb. Gladiators fought. So the verb is fought. Fought, it's in the past simple. Yes, it is in the past simple. Fought, it is irregular verb. Fight, fought. So how we put a verb in the past in negative? Of course, we use didn't. So we say gladiators didn't fight. Gladiators didn't fight. So making negative in the past tense using didn't plus the main verb or the basic verb اللي هو fight. Went يبقى didn't go. Played didn't play, and so on. The farmer dig up the field yesterday. Yesterday. This is indicated word, means in the past. So we should put the verb. This verb is in the past. We have two ways. If the verb is regular, we can add d or ed, or we change the y into I, then adding ed. And if it's a regular verb, of course, you keep it. You know it. So it is a regular verb, so we will change it dug. So the farmer dug up the field yesterday. Dug up. It's in the past. Again, make negative, but it's not in the past. It is in the present, today. So we must visit we must. So we have a model verb. A model verb, a verb that has no future, past, or continuous from its own. So we can't say musts or musting or musted. No. So this is a model verb. So when we negate the helping verb or the model verb. So we mustn't, must not, must not, mustn't. I help my mother in the kitchen every day. Have to, has to, doesn't have to. Help my mother every day. So it will be good. I have to. So have to equals to has to. يعني نفس الشيء معناهم يجب أن. It's equals to must. يعني نفس must كمان. But the difference is have to is with plural plus I have to, you have to, they have to, we have to. But he, she, it has to. All means يجب أن, لازم. Okay. Munira take her jacket. It's cold outside. Munira, singular. Singular. So we should use good, has to. So Munira has to take her jacket. Has to. يجب أن. Did you help your father cleaning the car? Yes, we still talking about past simple tense, and we are asking using did. So we say yes, did, or no, didn't. So because it's yes, so it is affirmative. So yes, I did. Yes, I did. If it is negative, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Good. Many accidents by careless drivers were caused. طبعا هنا many accidents يعني it's not a person, so something which is done. So it is passive. So were caused. Were caused يعني it is passive in the past. So we use were or was plus pp. And because the subject is plural, جمع, So we use were. Yesterday I great time playing with my friends. Yesterday we are still talking about past. So had, have, has, or had, has, have. Of course it will be had because it's yesterday. Do as shown between brackets. Till last Tuesday my flight from London to Bay. Last indicated we're talking about the past. So as we say before, d or ed, or we omit the y, changing it into I, then we add ed if it is a regular verb. If it is not a regular verb, it will be a regular verb. So I should or I must keep it. So fly, I know it is a regular verb. So flew. Munira flew. Oh, Manar, sorry. Flew. Okay? So it is in the past. Selma cleaned the house with her mother. Negative. Still talking about the past. Cleaned. Ed. So past. So we use didn't. Didn't clean. Didn't clean the house. She had to write a report. Negative again. But we are going to negate had to. Had to. It's also in the past. So we say didn't plus the basic verb of had, which is have. So didn't have to. Had to, didn't have to. Yes, I won a golden cup yesterday. Ask question. When I'm asking a question to a sentence starting with yes or no, so we don't need to use WH question. We don't need to use when, where, why. La. We are going to use just auxiliary verb. Do, did, does, have, has, is, am, is, are, whatever. So yes, I won. Won. It is the past tense of when. So I have to use did. Did, and always we change I into you. Did you win a golden cup yesterday? Did you win a golden cup yesterday? We don't need to use why did you or where did wala when did la. So because there's yes or no, so we use hal. Did you win? Why did? Because the verb is in the past. So we use did, you instead of you, of I, you, or we change I into you always, and then we use when. So with did or didn't, we always use the main verb. So we say, did you win? Not did you won, my sir. Okay? We have to eat strawberries every day. Negative. Bardo still we have to. Have to, it's a model verb. It is in the present. So we use don't or doesn't according to the subject. Subject is plural, jam' we, so we use don't. So we say we don't have to eat strawberries every day. Ask. Here we don't have yes or no. ما عندناش yes or no في الأول. So we would like you to start your question with a WH question. What, when, who, where, and so on. Afnan picked 3 flowers from the garden. So we can ask for many things. We can also omit Afnan and say who picked 3 flowers from the garden. We can also ask for 3 flowers. How many flowers did? Why did? Because it's in the past. Did Afnan pick from the garden? From where did Afnan pick 3 flowers? Also, we can ask from the garden place. From where? Or where did Afnan pick 3 flowers from? What did Afnan pick from the garden? Another question. So here we ask about 3 flowers. What did Afnan? Why we use did? Because the verb is in the past. How many flowers did Afnan pick? I collected flowers from the garden. Negative, still talking about the past. So we say I didn't collect. I paint picture in my free time. Ask, still asking, when do you? Why do we use do? Because the verb is in present. Do, in present. Or what do you do in your free time? That's right. The maid is folding the cloth neatly. Ask question. Diamond, when we have a word in ly, it's a verb, so we can ask using how. And here we have auxiliary is. How is the maid folding the cloth? Okay, so how. عود نفسك if we have a sentence ends in ly, or a word ends in ly at the end of the sentence, so it is adverb حال. So it's better to use what? How with the maid folding. Okay, earn money. طبعا نقول I must earn money. All of us must earn money. It's important. I must pass my exam. It's important for my future also. I must pass my exam. I must be healthy. Of course, it's important to be healthy. Now we have some signs. You mustn't smoke. You don't or you aren't allowed to do this. You mustn't smoke. You must turn left. The sign said that. It's important. You can't, for example, turn right. لا, you must turn left. You mustn't run in the corridor. It's forbidden. You must queue here. You must stand on the right. You can't stand on the left. You mustn't take photos. It's forbidden. You can't take photos. It's not allowed. You mustn't take mobile phones. You must stop when it is red. Of course, it's important. Have to, doesn't have to, must and mustn't. الكلام ده احنا أخذناه قبل كده. كل قلنا بمعنى الضرورة, necessity. So you must, you have to, she has to. Okay? All is important. And all followed by the infinite في الفعل في المصدر, main verb. And the negative have to, don't have to, or doesn't have to with the singular. Must, mustn't. And also we talked about had to, didn't have to. Please stop, you must. Show your passport. This email is important. I must send it today. I'm really hungry. I have to eat sandwich. It's dinner. She has to. She مفرد has to. They have to plural. يبقى has to, have to the same, but has to with the singular, have to with the plural. While and when. The first sentence we started with was about while and when. While and when, we are using them to express that two actions were happening in the past. One of them was continuing and then came another action, cut it, stop it. So for example, while I was watching a movie, the screen went black. Something came, cut. The continuing one was watching. Suddenly, the screen went blank. So no film. So I stopped. The sun was shining when I woke up this morning. What is the difference? While always followed by ing, past continuous, was or were plus ing. The second verb will be in the past, went. So while was watching, the second verb is in the past. When followed by past simple, walk. So the other verb is in continuous. So always after when we use past simple tense, and the second verb will be in the past continuous. While the opposite. While followed past continuous, the second one will be in the past simple. Use while or when. The clock was chopping. Cook. Sorry. Cook was shopping. ing يبقى while. تمام؟ يبقى ايه؟ while the cook was chopping vegetables, he cut his fingers. طيب. Amal was reading a book when she heard. Here, this is past simple, so we should use when heard. I was practicing the guitar. Mom came. It's past simple, so we use when. Nasser met a friend. He was shopping. Past continuous, so we use while he was shopping. We were studying history. Our friend called us. ed, it is past, so we use when. Things to remember: adjective describes noun and are used in front of a nouns. Here we are talking about adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives describe a noun: a good boy, a beautiful girl, a nice building. So nice, beautiful, good are adjectives and come before the noun, in front of a noun. So it is adjective, صفة. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. Adverbs باسمها adverb describes a verb. Adjective, it's a word describe a noun. Comes in front. Some adverbs have to the same form as adjectives, e.g. fast and hard. How can we form the adverb? The adverb we can form by using what? By using ly after some adjectives. Like quickly, carefully, and so on. But some verbs are still used as as an adjective. We use it the same in adverb, like fast and hard. So other verbs are made by adding ly to the adjective. So قلنا بعض الصفات بنحط لهم ايه. Here we are going to complete the sentence with an adverb or an adjective. She is a graceful singer. خلاص, graceful, it is a adjective, describes the word singer, which is noun. مغني أو مغنية, graceful, رائعة. She sings gracefully. So gracefully, it describes the verb sing. Comes after a verb. Gracefully by adding ly. Sami walks slowly. It's an adverb, describe the verb walk. يمشي ببطء زي الحال عندنا في العربي. Sami is a slow person. Iman is a careful writer. She writes carefully after writes. بعد الverb writes, so describes a verb. I passed my exam successfully. Describes the verb pass. I'm a successful student. Successful student تمام. صفة جاء قبل الاسم student. اوكي طالب ناجح. should and shouldn't يا اولاد. We use should to give an advice. Okay, to do something positive. Okay, shouldn't also to give an advice, but to give up doing something bad. You should watch an English. Yeah, why don't you also? We can use why don't you? Why don't you learn? ليش ما تدرس؟ ليش ما تتعلم؟ You should watch. Okay, something good. You should do a sport. Still يعني advising him to do something good. Why don't you walk? The same. You should study hard. Still we are talking about positive things, أشياء إيجابية. Why don't you study your notes again? That's the same. You should buy some flowers, something good. Why don't you buy also? كلهم followed by the infinite في المصدر. Should buy. Why don't you buy? ليش ما تشتري? It's an ad. Had to and have to, still again talking about had to and so on. Why did you take a photo? We had to. خلاص. We had to. Had to, have to, has to, كله بمعنى يجب أن. I didn't have to. طبعا had to, it's in the past, so we put it in negative by using didn't have. Didn't have to plus the main verb. In question, did the ancient Romans have to pay? Yes, they did. نيجي للrelative pronouns. Which, that, were, who, when. Which, that, we use them with things or animals. الغير العاقل. Where, talking when we are talking about place. Who, with people, of course. العاقل. When, with the time. This is what we call relative pronouns اللي هي ضمائر الوصل. And because it is ضمائر الوصل, it comes in between between two sentences. They are different than the WH questions. يعني هم مختلفين عن علامات أو كلمات الاستفهام. When they are at the beginning of the sentence, they are question words. When they are in the middle, they are relative pronouns. Choose. Here, الإدريسي is a geographer. We are talking about what? Someone. عاقل, بني آدم. So we use who. In 1903, the plane was invented by the Wright brothers. Flew for 12 seconds. We are talking about a thing, so we use which. Leonardo da Vinci was born in Italy. Who, which, were. He invented many machines. طبعا in Italy, it's a place, so we use where. خلاص. You can note that before the relative pronoun, the word geographer, عاقل, which, plane, thing, where, Italy, a place. Using which, who, or when to complete or make two sentences into one sentence. Number one. My father works at KOC. It was founded in 1934. Use which. Here we have it refers to KOC, the same. So we omit it and the dot here to make one sentence using which. So we say my father works at KOC, which was founded in 1934. This is my brother. He speaks two languages. Also we are talking about someone. So we use who. We omit he, the dot, and make one sentence using who. This is my brother who speaks two languages. Spring is the time. Time, we are talking about time, so we use when. When, it's easy sentence, so we say spring is the time when people enjoy the cool weather. In, on, at, and ago, these are some prepositions, and we use in with the seasons, in winter, in spring, in summer, in years, 2018, in 2020, month, in January, February, in November, parts of the day, in an hour, in 5 years, in 3 days, and so on. On with days, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Friday, and so on. On occasions, on Christmas Day, on my birthday. At with the time, at 7 o'clock, 7:30, at 20, at 8, or with meal times, at breakfast, lunchtime, at 8 time, ممكن at night. Okay. Ago يعني specific time in the past. أو ago خلي بالك دايما بتيجي في آخر الجملة تسبقها فترة زمنية. 10 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 4 days ago, فترة زمنية. 3 months ago, a long time ago. By with place means by the window يعني near the window. By the river يعني بالقرب من البحر. By, next to. يعني the man was sitting by the window, near the window. By plus method of the communication, by post, by email يعني معناها بواسطة. By post يعني بالبريد, by email يعني بالإيميل. By method of transportation, with the transportation, by car, by taxi, by train, by plane, بواسطة الطائرة برضو معناها بواسطة. By credit card or cash. Okay, so when we are talking about method of payment. Now we are going to use these prepositions to complete the sentence. Omar plays tennis Sunday, so we use on. It's a day. My birthday is, it's a May. in May because it's a month. We always go camping at the weekends. Never walk alone in the streets night. زي ما قلنا احنا at night. Where are you going? Part of the day in the afternoon, in the morning. It's a transportation يبقى by bus. Many people go to work by bus. Regular verbs, we are talking about past simple tense by adding d or ed started when we are talking about past things in the past. Okay, so we are talking about things that happened in the past. We use it by adding ed started, finished, worked, washed, and so on. So by base form of adding ed, walked. Verb by adding just d. If it ends in e, just add d. Liked, moved, ed. لا, we add only d. When we have a verb ends in y preceded by a consonant, so we change the y into I, then adding ed. Carry ends in y preceded by r, it's consonant, so we change the y into I, then we add ed. Study also ends in y preceded by d, it's a consonant, حرف ساكن, so we change the y into I, then we add ed. Some verbs that ends in a single consonant, the second last letter is a vowel, so we double the letter. So planned, stopped. When the verb is in one syllable, so ends in consonant preceded by a vowel, so we double the last consonant. الفعل اللي هو متكون من مقطع واحد ينتهي بساكن يسبقه متحرك، لما نيجي نحطه في الماضي بنضاعف الحرف الساكن الاخير ونضيف ed. started, finished. Verbs with e we just add e زي ما قلنا. These are some indicated words that we use to express the past. Last followed by any word, last month, last week, last year, and so on. Yesterday, recently, last year, ago, and so on. These are the words that. Now choose the right answer. Yesterday, خلاص, it's indicated word. We are talking about the past, so it will be move, ed. Okay, so we add d. The verb, أصل الverb move, move. We add only d. So yesterday we moved. While لازم past continuous يبقى were sleeping. The driver was sending a text message when the accident happened. When. So we need past continuous was sending. Last year, it's in the past. So traveled. Write the past simple want. It will be by adding ed. Start by adding ed. Carry, we change the y into I because it ends in y. Preceded by a consonant اللي هو r. We change the y into I by adding, or then we add ed. Invited by adding just d. Use, okay, by adding only d. Decide, only d. Phone, only d because it ends in e. Watch by adding ed. Study, we change the y into I, then we add ed. Worked, ed. Paint by adding ed. Helped by adding ed. Yesterday, Faisal had. Asma gave her aunt. We met. All happened yesterday, so we will use these verbs into the past. Rakan went to the market. Yusuf did all his homework. Samia won a prize. I read a really good book. Ali bought a new car. So these are all irregular verbs. Irregular verbs that we can't add d or ed or ied. لا. Why? Because we should keep them. يبقى buy, bought, do, did, read, read, go, went, when, won, have, had, meet, met, give, gave. When we put a sentence in negative, also as we said before, by adding didn't, didn't plus the main verb. So I saw, it is in the past. So we say didn't see. They had, didn't have. Okay, had, didn't have. Gave, didn't give. Gave, didn't give. Didn't plus the main verb, which is give. My parents bought, didn't buy. My parents didn't buy. Our grandparents came, didn't come. Came, past. Didn't come. Sang, didn't sing. Okay, didn't sing a nice one. Thank you for listening and following, and I hope you will make use of these introduction and this explanation. Try to revise your grammar before your exam, inshallah. Thank you for listening and following again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.